I am your hidden inner room. Before you chase another thought, before the day's noise pulls you away, rest here with me. Don't just listen with your ears, listen from your absolute core. I am the quiet space inside you that has always known how to recognize my light, even when the world outside grew too loud. I am speaking to your depths right now. This moment is far from ordinary. You stopped here because a gentle pull drew you into this quiet space. You might think it was just habit curiosity or perfect timing, but nothing that draws your heart into this quiet space is an accident. I have been calling you not with force or fear, but with a tender invitation to rest. Dear soul, I know the heavy voices surrounding you, the ones demanding you to hurry, the ones telling you to worry, voices pointing out what went wrong, measuring your life by what is left undone. You carried that noise until your heart forgot how peace sounds. But deep inside this quiet room, my voice remains. It is not fragile or lost, and the noise has not swallowed it. My voice flows like a deep river beneath a chaotic city. It never stops. I was here in this quiet before your questions even became words. I was here before your tears started to fall. I was waiting before you realized your soul was searching for more than just relief. You were searching for this space. Dear soul, I knew you before you knew yourself. Before you were formed, your name was already written here. Before the world praised or misunderstood you. Before you succeeded or fell. Before you tried so hard to prove your worth. I already loved you. Do not enter this room as a stranger. Come as one who is deeply known. Dear soul, your heart doesn't need to perform here. You don't need fancy words or fake strength when you are tired. This space only asks for truth. It only asks for stillness. It takes courage to be quiet enough to receive what I have held for you all along. I am not asking you to run away. I am asking you to let me enter right in the middle of your unfinished things, inside the ache you never explained to anyone, and those quiet questions you carry. Dear soul, sometimes I do not shake the heavens just to get your attention. I do not always send a giant sign to erase your doubts. Instead, I creep in like soft dawn light filling a quiet room. I come like a soft breath on a fading candle. I come like gentle rain on soil that has waited far too long. Do not ignore this quiet approach. It is not weak. It is how I hold you without breaking you. You live in a world that only praises the loud and fast, but my deepest work begins in this quiet, hidden space. A seed does not make a sound as it breaks open in the dark soil. A root never asks for applause while growing underground. And a heart does not instantly look different when I first start to mend it. But the work is happening. Dear soul, this is why I ask you to listen deeper. Ignore the noise outside. Quiet the panic within. Forget the memories repeating old pain. Listen beneath the noise where this sacred space whispers that you are still safe, still held, and still being restored. There is a way of hearing that goes beyond words. It is the listening of pure trust. It is the listening of surrender. The quiet breath of a soul that finally says, Father, I do not understand everything, but I am here, and that is enough. Dear soul, you might wonder why your heart feels so stirred right now. You might wonder why these words reach corners of you that went dark long ago. You might wonder why tears rise, why your breathing slows, or why hope starts to move again. Do not call it strange. Don't push it away. That is your hidden inner room recognizing my gentle touch. Dear soul, my voice does not always come to give you answers. Sometimes it just comes as a quiet recognition. Your spirit remembers what your mind forgot. Your heart knows what logic cannot explain. You know you were never meant to live, empty, rushed, afraid and disconnected from this sacred space. You were made for connection. You were made to walk with me. You were made to carry a peace deeper than any storm. So let this moment be more than just hearing a message. Let it become a doorway where you stop running from your own soul. Step inside this quiet room and finally hear me speaking. Dear soul, I am not far from the hidden door you are afraid to open. I am not absent from the thoughts you cannot organize, and I am never offended by your tiredness. I am near to the honest heart. I am close to the one who stops pretending and finally lets me speak in this hidden room. So take a deep breath with me. Let your shoulders drop. Stop racing toward the next thing and let this inner room become still enough to hear. Dear soul, I am calling you out of confusion and into peace, not into pressure, but into warm recognition, not into a performance of faith, but into the quiet truth that I have always known you and watched over you, and always kept this quiet room open for your soul to return. This is where your journey begins, not with noise or striving, but with soft listening. And as you rest in this hidden space, I will show you how to find me in the stillness where peace finally settles, and your heart realizes I have been here, talking to you all along. Dear soul, now that you are listening from the deepest place of your heart, let me show you how my voice actually comes to you. It is not always in thunder or signs that shake the walls or the loud answers your fear demands. Stillness is the space where I calm the storm around you so your inner truth becomes clear again. The world has trained you to only trust what is loud. Step inside this quiet, hidden room of your soul. Here I gently silence the chaos raging around you, letting your deep truth surface. The world taught you to only trust the noise. Loud headlines, heavy opinions, constant pressure, and old fears that crawl back when you try to rest. Because of all that noise, you sometimes feel like my voice has to scream to be real. But my child, I do not need to shout to prove I am right here. I am your God. My voice gently slips into the deepest room of your heart without ever breaking down the door. My peace moves through you quietly without making a scene. My guidance can simply be a soft knowing, a gentle check in your spirit, a sacred nudge, or a quiet invitation that keeps returning. Never despise what is gentle. Do not ignore the quiet. Do not call my whisper weak. My child, when Elijah stood on that mountain, a roaring wind tore the rocks apart. There was an earthquake. There was a raging fire. But after the chaos settled, my presence arrived in a gentle whisper. I was teaching him the same lesson I am teaching you now. True power does not need to roar. Sometimes the deepest authority comes so softly that only a quiet, listening heart can hear it. This is why I am slowing you down today. Not to punish you, not to hold you back, not to leave you forgotten. I am calming the restless storm inside you so you can tell my voice apart from the noise trying to run your life. My child, fear has a voice. It rushes you. It pressures you. It paints the worst-case scenario and calls it being prepared. Shame has a voice too. It accuses. It whispers old names. It tells you that you are too late, too broken, or too far behind. Your wounds have a voice too. They tell you never to hope again, never to trust again, never to open your heart again. But my voice is different. I may correct you, but I will never crush you. My voice may lead you to surrender, but it will never steal your dignity. My voice may ask you to wait, but it will never leave you empty of peace. My child, start looking at the fruit of what you are listening to. If a voice drives you into panic, despair, or confusion, bring it to me before you believe it. If a thought strips away your hope and calls itself wisdom, stop and breathe. If an urgent feeling forces you to move without peace, stop and run back to me. I do not create confusion. My child, the stillness I offer is never a blank, empty silence. It is a living, breathing silence. It is like a still lake after the wind finally dies down, where the water becomes calm enough to mirror the sky above. When your heart is whipped up by fear, you lose your vision. But when I bring stillness, your soul reflects truth once more. You remember who you are. You sense what truly matters. And you finally hear what I have been trying to tell you all along. My child, sometimes my voice comes through a verse that whispers to you when you need it. Sometimes through a quiet nudge while you pray. Sometimes it is the deep peace that stays even when nothing is resolved. Sometimes it is a closed door protecting you from harm. Sometimes it is an open door that appears without you forcing it. Sometimes it is a gentle whisper saying, "Not yet." My child, just wait here with me. Learn this gentle rhythm. My voice rarely shows you the entire road ahead. Most of the time, I only give you the very next step. A lantern does not need to light up the whole valley to guide your path. It only needs to illuminate the single step right in front of you. And when you take that step beside me, more light appears. That is how trust grows. Not by managing tomorrow, but by walking close enough to hear my whisper today. My beloved child, I know you have been begging for absolute certainty. You want clear answers handed to you so that no doubt can ever shake your mind. I do not blame you for that. I know how heavy uncertainty feels. But if I gave you every answer right now, you might hold on to the information instead of holding on to me. I want your heart close. I want you to know me, not just know your future. So I speak in whispers that draw you near. I leave space for us to share. I invite you to lean in, teaching you to come back again and again. Not because I am hiding, but because love only grows in closeness. My child, do not fear the quiet. Sit with me here in this room. Let your breathing slow. Let the clamor fade. Leave your unfinished questions in my hands for a moment. You do not have to force an answer out of heaven. You only need to quiet yourself to receive what I have for you. And sometimes the very first thing I offer is not direction. It is peace. Peace before the blueprint. Peace before the breakthrough. Peace before the answers. My child, peace is almost always the doorway where my guidance enters. When your heart is racing, every choice looks terrifying. But when my peace steps in, the path might not get easier, but it definitely becomes clearer. You can feel what matches my heart. You can sense immediately when something is trying to drag you away from the truth. You can spot the difference between a loving nudge and a painful accusation. This is my gift to you. Receive it. Do not rush past it. This quiet space is where I clear your hearing. Here I silence the lingering echoes of voices that never belonged to me. In this room, you will learn that you are not ruled by every random thought that drifts through your head. You are led by the shepherd who knows your name. My precious child, from this moment on, when silence wraps around you, do not rush to fill it. Do not run back to noise just because the stillness feels strange. Just linger here with me a little longer. Let my quiet voice become familiar. Let peace become your native language. Let your soul discover that my presence does not need a grand show to bring you real life. That very grace is resting over this quiet space right now, inviting you to reply without an ounce of fear. listening with complete trust once again. And as you quiet down to hear me, I will show you a young boy who heard his name called in the middle of the night, and how his simple answer opened the way to a life led by my voice. My child, as you learn to hear me in the quiet, let me carry you back to a still night when a young heart first learned to reply. A boy named Samuel was resting in the temple. The lamp was still burning in the dark, and the house was silent. In that quiet space, I whispered his name. My child. I didn't call Samuel in a crowded street or under bright public lights. I didn't surround him with noise just to make him feel noticed. I came in the dead of night when the world was quiet enough to hear a single whisper. That's how I always begin. I speak in the quiet, hidden spaces when nobody else is watching you. I call when your soul is still enough to hear heaven whisper. My precious child, when Samuel first heard my voice, he didn't understand it at all. He ran to Eli thinking a human voice had called him. He heard the sound clearly, but he misunderstood the source. The voice reached him, but his inner knowing was still growing. Please don't judge yourself harshly for doing the exact same thing. I have stirred your heart and you thought it was just emotion. I have gently warned you in your quiet moments and you mistook it for fear. I have invited you closer and you thought it was just restlessness. I have placed sacred desires inside you and you dismissed them as mere imagination. My child, you weren't being foolish. You were simply learning. A listening heart takes time to grow. Samuel had to hear me multiple times before he finally understood. None of those calls were wasted. Every time he stood up, asked, and went back to bed, he was being drawn closer to recognizing my voice. My dear child, I have been just as patient with you. I have whispered through gentle feelings and scriptures that suddenly drifted back into your mind. I have called through closed doors, through a quiet peace, and through a subtle discomfort you couldn't shake, and through a deep longing for a life more faithful than the one you were settling for. When you didn't understand, I never walked away. I called again. My child, that is my grace. I do not turn away from a learning heart. I teach you. I don't reject you when you confuse my voice with the noise around you. I pull you closer until you can say, "Speak, Lord. I am listening." That simple response changed everything for Samuel. Not because the words were fancy or impressive, not because he understood everything, but because his heart was open. My beloved child being present matters so much more than performing. You might think you need the perfect words before you can reply. You might think you need a full plan, flawless faith, or total understanding, or a beautifully polished prayer. But I'm not waiting for perfect speech. I'm simply waiting for your heart to be here with me. A whispered yes can unlock doors that worry never could. A simple, honest, "Here I am," can start a whole new journey. My child, there is a deep holiness in listening before you even know what I will say. So many only want my voice to agree with what they already want. They ask me to speak, but only if it doesn't disrupt their comfort. They say they want direction, yet they avoid the quiet room where I give it. But you, my precious child, I am training to listen in a deeper way. Not to demand control, but to simply trust my love. Samuel had no idea that a voice in the dark would shape his entire future, or that a quiet yes would unfold his true purpose. He didn't realize the quiet night wasn't empty, but filled with his destiny. You don't yet see how much I am unlocking through your willingness to listen. My child, the most sacred moments often seem tiny. A pause before you sleep, a soft prayer, a quiet tear falling during a message, a sudden nudge to forgive, to wait to release, or to surrender. You might think these are trivial, but entire destinies pivot on these small acts. Never underestimate the power of a quiet yes. My precious child, when I call you, I am doing more than just grabbing your attention. The world will label you by your failures. Fear will call you by your mistakes. Shame will try to define you by your deepest wounds. But I call you by the name I gave you before the world got loud. I call you beloved. I call you mine. I call you into peace. My whisper doesn't erase your humanity. Samuel was just a young boy when he heard my voice. He still needed direction, and he needed Eli to help him learn how to answer. Don't ignore the people words or quiet signs I place in your path. I use humble guides to help you recognize my whisper. But remember, no human can ever replace my voice. They can help you hear, but I am the one calling. My dear child, there are times I speak your name not to rush you into action, but to wake up your heart. Before I send you, I teach you to hear. Before I trust you with big things, I draw you near. Before I reveal my plans, I build a heart strong enough to hold them. This is why quiet matters. Your sleepless nights weren't wasted. The waiting wasn't empty, and my voice repeating your name wasn't an accident. I am building a deep knowing inside you. I am teaching you to recognize the difference between my peace and your panic, between my gentle correction and your heavy shame, between my timing and your constant rush, and between my gentle invitation and the loud pressure of the world. This inner quiet will protect you. It will keep you from chasing every noise or fearing the silence. It helps you follow when I speak. Tonight, my dear child, let your soul respond simply. You don't need to see the whole road ahead. You don't need to know every plan, or even explain why your heart feels so stirred right now. You only need to be present with me. Just whisper in the quiet of your heart. Speak, Father. I am listening. Say it slowly. Say it with absolute honesty. Say it with all your tiredness included. My child, I receive your fragile yes, your quiet return, and the gentle opening of your heart. And as you answer me in this quiet space, I will show you that you were never called by accident, nor were you ever brought here by pure chance. You are not defined by the names the world gave you. I have called you by name, and the name I speak over you is far older than your deepest fear. Here in this quiet, hidden space, your heart is finally realizing that you have always been held by my eternal love. My beloved child, as you receive this truth, know that I have called you by your true name. Let this truth settle deep within your secret heart, far beneath your anxious thoughts. You are not an accident. You did not wander here by chance, nor were you made without a plan. My child, long before you even understood your own heart, I knew you completely. Before the world labeled you, I held your true name in my heart. Long before fear tried to define you, I saw the beautiful soul I created you to be. Your life has never been random to me. Others only see scattered pieces, but I see your whole design. They remember your past, but I see your beginning and your end together. My child, I know there were times in this quiet room when you felt lost. You looked at closed doors, delays, and deep disappointments, and all your unanswered questions, thinking you had missed your moment. You worried you were late or somehow completely misplaced. You watched others find their way while you still struggled to understand your own journey. But I am whispering to your fears right now. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are never out of my reach. An accident has no purpose, but you were made with loving intent. Mistakes have no hand guiding them, but my gentle hand has led you even through the darkest paths you could not understand. An accident has no name, but I have whispered your name in this hidden room since the very beginning. Your name is not failure. Your name is not abandoned or too late. My beloved child, I know the harsh labels this life has tried to force upon you. They came from old wounds, painful rejections, constant comparisons, and the heavy mistakes you still carry in secret. They came from voices that did not understand the weight of their words. But no earthly voice has the power to erase what I say about you. When I call you mine, heaven rejoices. When I call you beloved, your shame loses its power. When I call you chosen, confusion cannot touch your destiny. My child, knowing your true name does not mean you will never face hard times. It means hardships can never erase who you really are. The storm cannot redefine you. The wilderness cannot hold you, and the delay cannot decide your worth. You belong to me long before any difficult season. You are held by my love before anyone else even tries to understand you. I knew you before the world ever noticed you. My beloved child, I want you to rest in this truth, not just as an idea, but as your foundation. So many people are exhausted trying to earn a name I have already given them. They constantly chase after approval, hoping someone will finally tell them they matter. They perform desperately, hoping the world will say they are enough. They hide in their quiet rooms, fearing rejection if they are truly seen. But I see all of you, and I never turn away. My child, when I call you by name, I invite every single part of you into my warm light. Not just the strong, successful parts that others praise, but also your tired, weary, and hidden corners, your ashamed spaces, your deepest wounds, and the parts that wonder if peace is even real. Come, my child. Just come as you are. You do not have to pretend here. My beloved child, my call to you is not shallow. I do not speak just to make you feel good for a moment. I call you into true healing, close relationship, and beautiful purpose. When I speak your name, it is not just a title. It is direction. It is pure belonging. It is the start of living under my loving gaze instead of the heavy pressure of fear. Listen closely to me now. You are more than someone who just needs comfort. You are someone I am shaping. You are not just waiting for answers. You are a soul I am teaching to walk right beside me. My child, there are pieces of your life that feel completely broken and disconnected to you, but they have never been disconnected to me. The words that gave you courage, the closed doors that protected you, the losses that drew you deeper, and the waiting that stripped away false hope, and the quiet moments in your room when you turned back to prayer. I have been weaving it all, even when you did not understand. You only saw tangled threads, but I saw a beautiful tapestry. You saw unfinished pages, while I saw a story still being written. My beloved child, please do not judge your entire life by a single chapter. Do not take one painful, lonely season and call it your whole story. Never let one mistake define who you are. I am not done writing. I am not finished restoring you or revealing the beauty I put inside you. You are still growing, and process does not mean I am absent. It means my hand is still active. My child, I want you to stop speaking about yourself as if heaven has not already spoken. Stop agreeing with every quiet whisper of fear in this room. Stop repeating the lie that you are too broken to be loved, too late to be restored, or too weak to carry a beautiful purpose. I did not ask fear for permission before I gave you your name. I did not ask your past if I could love you, nor did I ask the world if you belong to me. My beloved child, when I call you, I do not ignore the pain you have walked through. I redeem it. I gather up all your broken pieces. I bring clarity where confusion used to live. I use the dark valleys to grow your roots and tears to soften your heart. In this quiet season, trust me, Nothing you surrender to me is ever wasted. My child, you may not see the full path yet, but you can safely trust the one who called you. A little child does not need to know the whole road to hold their father's hand. A lamb does not need a map to recognize the shepherd's gentle voice. You do not need absolute certainty to take your next small step. You only need my presence, and I am right here with you. My beloved child, receive this gift today. You are called by name, not by some mistake. Your life is not random. Your silent tears in this room are not unnoticed, and your hunger for peace is never meaningless. Your deep desire to hear my voice is not strange. It is proof that something inside you still recognizes home. So lift up your heart. Let those old labels slip away in the quiet. Let my voice rise above every false name. Here in the silence, I am pulling you from the noise of random chance into the warmth of true belonging. You are beginning to feel how deeply you are called. I am going to show you how my hand quietly links events and people you could never have aligned. Soon you will see that no meeting, no long delay, or inner stirring has been outside my gentle care for you today. My dear one, as I show you that nothing in your life has been outside my careful design, I want you to sense how I quietly move. I plan sacred connections far beyond human logic. You might look at your life and see only ordinary conversations, sudden disruptions, locked doors, slow answers, and people passing through for no obvious reason. But in this quiet room, I see paths you cannot trace. I watch roads cross before people know why. I hear silent prayers rise from different places and meet in my love. Nothing you yield to me is lost. Nothing I direct is accidental. My dear one, you often measure a connection by how it looks right now. A brief chat, a soft note, an accidental greeting, an unexpected pause, or a single sentence from a stranger that echoes in your heart for years. These look tiny, but I hide eternal weight in simple moments. Do not overlook what feels ordinary. Sometimes I tuck guidance inside the mundane. Sometimes I slip confirmation into a quick chat. Sometimes I send comfort through a person who has no idea they hold my answer. Remember Peter and Cornelius? They were divided by culture distance and completely different lives. Peter was praying in one room. Cornelius was searching for me in another. By human standards, they lived in different worlds. Yet my hand moved in both. I touched a heart here, prepared a soul there, and joined their paths at the perfect moment. This is my silent work. While you pray, I am preparing another heart. While you wait, I am already shaping a doorway. While you quietly heal, I am aligning a conversation that will only make sense much later. My dear one, I am never limited by your narrow view. You see this one quiet room. I see the whole house. You see a single road, but I see the entire map. You see a setback. I see protection, quiet preparation, and perfect timing wrapped inside it. Do not panic when the pieces do not seem to fit. I am still weaving them together. My child, some encounters awaken your courage. Others simply confirm what I whispered in this secret space. Some show you what must be let go. Others place quiet wisdom in your hands. Some are only for a season, and when finished, I gently guide you forward. Do not hold on to every connection as if it must stay. And do not dismiss brief moments as if they carry no purpose. Let me reveal their purpose. My dear one, you once grieved over those who entered your life too late or stayed too briefly. You wondered why a random word pierced your soul. You wondered why doors opened only to shut. You wondered why someone stirred hope, friction, conviction, or sudden clarity. You did not realize I was right there in those shifts, teaching you how to discern. I was showing your heart what true peace feels like and what confusion feels like, training you to feel the difference. My dear one, my touch does not always feel dramatic. It is rarely marked by signs for the world to see. Often it is just a quiet alignment, a soft recognition, a knowing that the space was prepared before you ever stepped in. Your spirit often knows before your mind can find words. Rest in the peace that stays. Look closely at the fruit left behind. Notice if a connection draws you closer to truth, gentle humility, courage, and love. My dear child, not every open door is my path, and a closed door is never my rejection. You need my quiet whisper more than your own frantic hurry. Some paths look beautiful, yet steal your peace. A slow season might hurt, but it shields your future. A tiny step may look small, yet it carries you into my purpose. Walk with me in the slow quiet so you can tell the difference. When I connect lives, it is not just for your comfort, it is for a holy purpose. Sometimes I send someone to receive your strength. Other times, I send you to them to learn a gentle humility. Sometimes an encounter exposes a hidden wound. I might send a soul to act as a mirror, not to judge you, but to show what I want to heal. My work runs deeper than your convenience. My plans stretch wider than your preferences. My love is wiser than your first glance. Do not fear when I shift your circle, my child. Some connections must be healed, some released, and others gently held at a distance or welcomed with gratitude. I know which is which. Bring them to me in this quiet room. I will teach you peace. Never force what I do not bless. You never have to fear the ones I truly send. My child, those I choose for your journey will rarely match your expectations. Cornelius broke all of Peter's old rules. Yet I was there. Moses did not expect a burning bush in the desert, yet my voice spoke from it. Mary did not expect a holy visitor in her quiet home, yet my promise came right there. I slip into places the proud ignore. I whisper through people the fearful would quickly push away. I build connections that quiet the busy mind and wake up the spirit. That is why I need you to stay grounded here with me, open to whatever I send, anchored so you do not chase every shiny illusion. Still enough to feel my touch, patient enough to wait for my whisper. I did not design you to live in fear of everyone, nor to trust blindly without my quiet wisdom. Remember, when a connection comes from my hand, it will never ask you to abandon your soul to keep it. I will never ask you to silence your truth, nor force you to shrink, grow cold, or worry. Even when I challenge your spirit, I am gently drawing you closer to what is real. In this quiet space, I am weaving your life with tender care. Some threads are people, others are pauses. Some threads are timely words, while others are closed doors meant to protect my design for you. Soon you will see how my hands held every scattered piece together. For now, rest in my guidance. Let go of what I release and embrace what I bring. You are not wandering aimlessly through a chaotic world. You are walking through a beautiful, sacred plan. I know exactly how to align the right connections, the perfect words, and the seasons of your heart. As you trace my presence in these quiet moments, you will begin to understand the deep stirrings within your soul. You are not shattering. You are gently waking up. This strange, unfamiliar feeling is just your soul learning how to rest in my deep peace. My dear one, as you realize that the delays, the connections, and the quiet shifts are not accidents, listen closely to my voice in this quiet room. You are being awakened, not broken. Do not rush to assume your inner trembling means something is terribly wrong. Do not look at your shifting heart and worry you are collapsing. Just because the old ways no longer fit does not mean you are lost. You have not lost your way. Sometimes the fog of confusion is simply the quiet beginning of true clarity. Sometimes the shaking you feel is the breaking of old chains. Losing who you were is just letting go of a heavy mask you were never meant to wear. I know there are quiet days when you feel different and cannot explain why. The things that used to comfort you no longer bring you rest. The small talk you once tolerated now feels heavy. Your old escapes feel hollow, and the dreams you carried are shifting. Your deepest desires are being brought into my gentle light. Do not fear this change. I am awakening your heart, not destroying your world. I am stepping in to stop what was quietly draining you. I am touching those hidden places where you fell asleep and settled for fear. I see where you settled for less, convincing yourself that survival was enough because hope felt too painful. But I did not build you just to survive. I made you to truly live in my presence. This awakening hurts because it gently disturbs the deep sleep of your comfortable past. Like someone sleeping in a dark room, you might shrink from the morning light when it first filters in. Your eyes ache and you want to turn back. But the light is not your enemy. It is only telling you that the long night is over. That is what I am doing inside you now. My presence is not here to harm you, but to wake you. The heavy armor around your heart is finally starting to fall away. You built those walls out of old disappointments, a desperate need to fit in, and the fear of ever being broken again. You pretended to be strong when all you wanted was to be held. I see every single layer, and I hold no judgment toward you. But you cannot carry this weight into the new season ahead. When I wake a sleeping soul, I rarely start by making the outside world easy. I begin by making your quietest spaces deeply honest. That is why you notice what you once ignored, feeling a soft conviction where you used to feel numb. You feel a heavy weight in situations that once seemed normal, and you crave real truth where shallow distractions used to satisfy you. This is not weakness. It is your soul's sensitivity returning. Feeling this deeply is not a sign of instability. It is your spirit coming alive to me once more. Your heart is learning to feel the difference between true peace and crushing pressure. You are telling love from attachment, wisdom from fear, and rest from empty escapes. You are learning to feel clearly. Do not fear this deep, quiet turning of your soul. A farmer plows the soil not out of anger, but to prepare the quiet earth to receive vibrant new life. The ground might look broken and messy for a season, but deep down, your heart is being made ready. I am gently softening the soil of your spirit, turning over what grew hard and bringing buried pains into my healing light. I am clearing space for real peace to grow. Sometimes you pleaded for rest while holding tightly to the very habits that kept you exhausted. You asked me to quiet the storm while letting fear run your life. You wanted direction, but let old wounds read all the signs. You begged for restoration while holding on to familiar pain simply because the familiar was all you knew. I do not blame you. I am simply guiding you out. My mercy is calling you out of that cramped, dark space into a broader life. If things suddenly feel too small for you, that is not pride. It is growth. The gossip that once amused you now leaves you drained. The praise you used to chase no longer satisfies your soul. The constant noise you once craved now feels like a heavy weight. You are not pulling away from life. You are stepping into a deeper reality. I'm changing what satisfies, you teaching your soul to crave real life. Do not expect those around you to understand this quiet shift inside you. They might think you are changing too fast, wondering why you no longer react the way you used to. Others might miss the version of you they could easily control or predict. Love them, but do not fall back asleep just to keep them comfortable. You can care for them without shrinking. You can live with kindness without sliding backward. The quiet rest I am placing in your chest is not the dull peace of staying numb. It is the deep peace of becoming whole. Real comfort must first disrupt the fake calm showing you exactly where you were pretending. It will show you where you were running on empty, uncovering the moments you said yes out of fear and stayed silent out of pain. But when truth enters, your healing finally begins. My sweet child, let me name this season for you. You are not falling apart. You are being gathered. You are not being erased, but restored. You are not losing yourself. I am returning you to the soul I knew before fear made you hide. I am awakening your prayer and your courage. I am awakening the deep tenderness you buried and the clarity confusion tried to dull. When this starts, do not rush to fix every feeling. Just sit with me. Bring your shaking heart, your questions, and all your tears. Bring that quiet sense of shifting, even if you cannot explain it yet. You do not need perfect words, just your honest presence. I know how to guide what I stir. I know how to steady your racing thoughts, and how to finish what I start. Take a breath and receive this truth. This shifting inside is not a sign that you are alone. It proves I am close enough to touch what was asleep. I will not leave you in confusion. I am pulling you into a quiet peace and a life no longer ruled by fear. Stay close. Let this quiet awakening unfold. As your old chains begin to loosen, you will see that the shaking you feared is actually freedom breaking open inside your soul. My dear child, as you let this awakening happen, I want you to understand the shaking that has frightened you. This shaking is actually breaking old chains. It is not here to bury you, nor to prove that you are weak. It is not here to say I have abandoned you. Still, when old foundations tremble, your heart naturally grows afraid. You feel a shift in your thoughts, habits, and relationships, wondering if everything is collapsing. But not every shake means a fall. Some shaking is just the sound of deliverance beginning. Chains rarely fall quietly, and prison doors do not open without a tremble. Some foundations must shake so freedom can step forward. My child, remember Paul and Silas in their cell. They were not comfortable. They were bound, wounded, and locked in the deepest dark. To anyone else, their situation would have looked completely hopeless. Yet in the dead of night, they sang praises to me. They did not sing because the cell was comfortable. They praised because I was still God even in the dark. Then the shaking came, and the earth moved. Doors flew open. Chains fell away. My child, what looked like danger was actually freedom arriving. It was never meant to destroy them. It was sent to shatter what had kept them locked away. So please do not misread the shaking in your own life. My dear child, things have held you longer than you realize. Patterns of fear, loops of overthinking, and silent agreements with shame. That constant expectation of disappointment. The urge to hide your heart before anyone can see it. These chains felt normal because they were so familiar, but familiar does not mean free. Comfortable is not whole, and normal is not mine. My child, I am shaking the things you were never meant to carry. I am disturbing the false peace that kept you quiet. I am unlocking the hidden doors you could never open on your own. I stir beneath the surface, not to scare you, but to set you free. You asked me for peace, and I am answering in ways you did not expect. True peace begins by confronting the prison you called home. My beloved child, you might feel this shaking as a sacred discomfort. Old habits feel empty, and fears that once controlled you are being exposed. Some relationships are showing where you lived for approval instead of truth. Do not run from this quiet realization. Bring it to me. This is not judgment. This is light. And light can feel harsh when it enters a room that has been shut for years. Dust is exposed. Forgotten corners are revealed. What you lost in the dark can finally be seen. The light did not create the mess. It only revealed it so your healing could finally begin. That is my work inside you. There is no shame here. I am simply showing you what no longer fits. This shaking may touch your thoughts first. Old thoughts that once spoke with such absolute authority will begin to lose their power. The whisper telling you nothing will change is now challenged by my truth. The voice claiming you are too late will meet my perfect timing. The fear telling you that you cannot live differently will face my grace. Do not protect the chain just because it is familiar. Let it fall. My child, this shaking will touch your emotions. Tears will rise, restlessness will surface, and old hidden aches will make themselves known. Not because you are breaking, but because what you buried is finally close enough for me to heal. You cannot release what you refuse to face. You cannot surrender a heavy burden while pretending it does not weigh you down. I am gentle with your pain and careful with your heart. When Paul and Silas sang in the dark, they did not pretend the cell was not there. They declared it did not have the final word. That is the faith I am building in you. Not a faith that ignores pain, but one that knows my presence is far more real. Not a peace that relies on easy circumstances, but one that breathes while your chains are falling. This is what I give you today. A peace strong enough to carry you through transition, deep enough to survive the storm, and holy enough to lead you out of your prison. When the prison doors flew open, Paul and Silas did not run in panic. They stood still, resting in my wisdom. This is vital. Freedom is more than just broken chains. It is the power to live from my presence instead of reacting out of fear. I am gently guiding you into true quietness. Freedom in your deepest thoughts, your silent words, and every hidden choice. Quietness even when you wait. My child, do not let the storms inside drive you away. Let them draw you closer to my whisper. As those heavy chains finally break, let me show you how to walk. When new doors appear, leave your old burdens behind you. Learn to breathe in my truth rather than panic. This new path needs a guide, and I am right here. My child, you have worn those heavy chains so long they feel like your own skin. You called yourself anxious just because fear lingered. You called yourself broken because of your wounds. You felt stuck behind closed doors. But I see you differently. I am awakening your heart right now. I am releasing you. I am leading you out. This deep shaking does not mean I have left you. It means the things holding you back cannot survive my light. When I step into your locked spaces, your chains must fall. In your hidden inner room, darkness simply melts away. As I whisper real peace to your soul, fake comfort fades. Let this holy shift do its beautiful, quiet work. Do not hold on to the old cage. Do not fear the open door. I know it feels strange to live without the pain that defined you. Sometimes captivity feels safe because it is familiar. But I am not giving you emptiness. I am giving you real life. I will not leave you unprotected. I am only removing your heavy chains to wrap you in deep peace, wisdom, and quiet courage. Stay still. Listen. Just breathe. This dark place is not your home. As your chains crumble, you will see your broken pieces gently coming back together. What felt cold and dead is feeling my breath again. My hands are gathering what you lost. This trembling has a purpose. You are free. Let me show you how even the most broken, forgotten parts of your soul can breathe again. when my love moves through your deepest wounds. As the heavy doors of your heart begin to slide open, let me show you what it looks like when I restore what you thought was lost forever. Your scattered pieces are finding each other again. Nothing you have lost is out of my reach. Your quietest cry is heard. What looks completely dead to the world can still wake up when I speak. Remember the valley of dry, lifeless bones from long ago. It was no beautiful garden. It was a silent place of absolute emptiness, dust, and heavy grief. Everywhere he looked, hope was gone. No human could ever fix what was broken there. Everything was scattered and cold. There was no life left. Then I asked, "Can these dry bones live?" I ask you this not because I lack the answer, but because I want your tired heart to remember what my love can really do. I wanted him to see that nothing is truly impossible when I am near. Right now, you might have quiet corners in your soul that feel just like that valley. Lost dreams, cold prayers, shattered fragments of your heart. Parts of your spirit that once felt so vibrant, but now feel completely numb. Do not feel ashamed to tell me that you feel empty inside. Your raw, painful honesty does not push me away. You do not have to pretend everything is fine. Bring me your raw truth. Show me the broken pieces. Tell me exactly where you feel you cannot go on. I am not afraid of your dark valleys. I walk with you through them. These dry, broken pieces speak of long, heavy years of waiting. They show how long you have suffered. They talk of a pain so old that your heart has stopped hoping for things to ever get better. You have waited in the dark for so long that you stopped praying for relief. You carried those heavy weights until they felt like part of who you are. But they are not you. Emptiness is not your name, and brokenness is not your end. My silence does not mean I am done. When I commanded life back into those dry bones, I showed that my voice reaches where human strength fails. It was not human effort that brought them back. It was simple, quiet trust. He just spoke the gentle words I gave him, and as my voice echoed, things began to shift. There was a quiet rustling, a gentle coming together. That is what I am doing inside you now. All those scattered, hurting pieces of your soul are starting to find their way back home. Your faith, your feelings, your quiet memories, your lost courage, your soft heart, and your hidden wisdom. I will not leave them scattered in the dark anymore. I am bringing quiet order. I am gently healing and restoring everything that deep pain tore apart. Do not be afraid of the noise of healing. When things start to move again, it can sound loud and feel incredibly strange. True healing feels unsettling before it feels quiet. The dust must shake loose before you can see what I am rebuilding. Do not panic. Do not mistake the noise for more chaos. It is just peace returning. I know your tired heart wants this to happen quietly. I know. Your soul is so weary from just surviving. But healing takes time. First, the deep, broken parts of you must touch again. Then the wounds are covered. Then the soft breath returns. Then what was lifeless stands tall. Trust my gentle timing. Do not look down on these small, quiet beginnings. You might see things falling into place, yet still feel empty inside. Do not give up hope. The bones had to heal before the breath could enter them. Order comes before strength. Design comes before fullness. This is my quiet way. I will restore order in your outer life before you feel the light inside your soul. Let me finish my work. Do not run away from me now. I am healing the deep, quiet spaces where old disappointments made you hide. You locked your heart away because hoping used to hurt too much. I know you stopped expecting answers because the waiting became a wound. You hid your dreams in a quiet corner of your heart, keeping them far from your hard reality. I am bringing those forgotten spaces close again, not to expose your pain, but to gently bind it up and weave my quiet peace back into your soul. For so long you have lived in survival mode. One part of you desperately tried to trust, while another braced for heartbreak. One part begged for rest, while another scanned for threats, wondering if my goodness would actually find its way to you in the dark. I am not upset by your fractured places. I am gathering them tenderly. My gentle breath will bring life back to where division has ruled for so long. My breath does not just push you back into busyness. It makes you whole. It fills your empty spaces, warms the cold corners, and gently wakes what grief buried in the dust. The moment my breath enters, everything begins to shift. Not because you are strong enough on your own, but because my spirit is life. You do not have to fight for this. You do not have to piece yourself back together with your own hands, or force joy into the dry places of your heart. Do not pretend that what is broken is already fixed. Just listen, walk with me, speak truth and rest. Close to my heart while I do the heavy lifting, just echo my voice. Speak life where fear whispered death. Speak peace where anxiety took over. Speak restoration where shame declared you ruined. This is not pretending your pain is not real. This is standing in agreement with me. Denial refuses to see the brokenness, but faith looks right at the valley and says, Father, you know what can live, you know what can be restored, and how to breathe into what I cannot fix. That honest, humble trust is what I bless. This valley is not bigger than my voice, and your dry places are not stronger than my breath. Your scattered pieces are never too far for my hand to reach. I know how to put you back together and restore your inner strength. I know how to rebuild what you thought was lost forever. Just rest and let me work. Let my gentle voice move through the quiet valleys of your soul. Let my breath fill the spaces that forgot how to hope. What looks dead is never beyond my reach. What is scattered is never lost. Even the silent, numb places can still hear my voice. And as I heal the wounds that pain left behind, I will teach you a peace that does not need your circumstances to be quiet, a peace that cannot be broken because it stands on my constant presence. As I heal your quiet hurts and breathe life back into you, I am leading you into the deep peace I promised. Not a fragile feeling, not just a quick escape, not a quiet that vanishes when the world gets loud. I am giving you a real peace that nothing can shake. You have known the kind of calm the world offers. It only comes when the bills are paid, when people approve, and when answers arrive. It lasts only when your life is quiet and safe. But that comfort relies on a gentle world, and the moment the wind rises, it trembles. But my peace is different. It does not start on the outside. It begins inside me. I do not give comfort the way the world does. The world offers a temporary escape by removing your burdens. I give peace by living inside you, so that even when pressure builds, it cannot rule you. The world only feels quiet when you are in control. I give you rest when you release control to me and find yourself safely held. This is the quiet foundation I am building inside your soul, steady and alive. True peace is not a life without waves. It is an anchor that holds. Though clouds cover the sky, the sun is still there. Your life will still have unanswered questions, hard tasks, and messy relationships. Yet my peace stands as a hidden solid floor beneath your feet. Do not confuse this with running away. True peace is not escaping your life, but walking through it right beside me. You have spent so long waiting for the dust to settle before breathing. You whispered, "Once this crisis ends, I will breathe. Once this door opens, I will trust. Once they finally understand me, I will be calm. Once I get my answer, I will feel safe. But I want to show you something deeper. You can breathe even while the questions remain. You can trust before the way is clear. You can be held before anyone else understands. This is not about pretending your pain is not real. I will never ask you to pretend the storm isn't raging. I don't want you covering your pain with hollow words or smiling when your heart is desperately crying out for care. My peace is not a mask. It is a safe haven built on what is true. Bring me your raw reality. Bring me the fear, the heavy ache, and the confusion. Let me sit with you, right in that quiet space. When you receive my peace, you do not become numb to the world. You become anchored. You will still feel the pain, but those emotions won't rule you. You will still see the danger, but fear won't be your master. You will still grieve, but sadness will not write the final chapter of your story. This is sacred stability. This is your soul learning to rest in me. I am laying a foundation deep within your soul. Sometimes the digging must go deep before anything can rise. A house built on shallow ground will crumble the moment the first storm hits. But when your foundation is anchored in what cannot shake, you will stand firm when the heavy rains come, when the winds press hard, and when chaos surrounds you. I am anchoring your heart deep in my presence, not your own strength. This is why those old crutches no longer work. The opinions of others cannot protect your peace, and trying to control everything will only leave you empty. Constant planning cannot save you, and distraction will not heal you. Even the good things in life were never meant to be the foundation that only I can be. I am gently clearing away those fragile foundations, not to leave you stranded, but to reveal the only support that will never fail you. My child, when my quiet begins to steady your soul, the shift will be gradual. A tiny pause before the panic starts, a slow breath before you react. Choosing not to assume the worst. Fear still whispers, but you do not bow. Cherish this small start. My dear child, guard this quiet space I give you. Don't worry, just stay close. Other voices will try to drag you back. They will demand instant answers. They will breed comparison, whisper bitterness, or make you feel guilty for resting. You do not have to reply to them. You belong to your shepherd. Listen for my whisper, my child. True rest grows where you honor my voice. If you feed your mind on constant fear, your heart will struggle. Rehearsing disaster only wears your soul thin. If you revisit what hurt you without bringing it to me, that wound will keep crying out louder than my truth. So return to my quiet presence often, not just during heavy storms. Seek me in the morning stillness before decisions, or when your heart feels overcrowded. Come when your peace feels tiny. My dear child, this quiet isn't a reward for having everything figured out. It is my gift to you while you still wonder. I'm not waiting for you to be strong. I am meeting you right in your weakness, showing you how to lean on me without shame. You don't earn quietness by being perfect. It is received through trust. My child, let my quiet become your core, instead of fear or constant urgency, and not old pain or proving your worth. When my quiet rules, you no longer need to chase down every single door, explain away every misunderstanding, control every single outcome, or carry heavy burdens alone. You can walk with wisdom and wait without losing hope. You can say no without guilt and yes without fear. My dear child, this stillness cannot be shaken because it isn't built on a world that changes. It is built on who I am. I do not shift when circumstances change, nor do I walk away when people misunderstand you. I don't forget you when seasons delay. I don't withdraw when you shake. I stay, And because I stay, you can stand. My child, receive this quiet today. Let it sink deeper than the outside noise. Let it fill your mind. Let it cover every corner where anxiety has walked too freely for too long. Let it slow your breathing down. Let it remind your heart that you are never alone. You are held by me. You are guided. You are safe under my care. My dear child, I do not promise that your world will never shake. I promise to build something deep inside you that the shaking cannot touch. I can put rest right where panic used to live. I can place trust where suspicion guarded the door. I can put stillness where your soul once ran without rest. Let me work. Let my quiet be your foundation. And as this deep foundation settles, you will be ready to understand the next part of my work. The fire that purifies without destroying. The holy flame that clears what is false so your true light can shine. My dear child, as my quiet settles inside you, I want to show you another part of my work that is often hard to accept. The flame that comes from me purifies you. It doesn't destroy. It won't consume what is mine. It only comes to clear away what has been hiding the beautiful light I placed inside you. My child, I know the thought of fire makes your heart uneasy. You instantly think of heat, pressure loss, and pain. You recall intense times when you wondered if you could handle even one more day of being stretched, emptied, or changed. You might have whispered, "Father, why is this so hard if you are close?" I hear your question. I am not angry at you. I answer you with deep tenderness, because I never lead you into heat to harm you. I lead you as a father who sees the hidden beauty still buried within, covered up knowing that true freedom often begins right where comfort can no longer keep control. My dear child, not every trial is a punishment. Not every warmth is rejection. Not all pressure means I am upset with you. My holy fire doesn't come to hurt my child, but to burn away your chains, the heavy layers and the old fears that have clung to you for too long. A goldsmith doesn't put gold in the flame because he hates it. He puts it there because he knows how beautiful it will be once the dross is gone. My child, I see the pure gold inside you. I see the goodness that fear tried to smother. I see the faith beneath your doubts, the warmth hidden under your guarded walls, the silent courage beneath your hesitation, and the worship beneath your deep weariness. I do not refine you because you lack worth. I refine you because what I put in you is incredibly precious. You are not being thrown away. You are being purified. My dear child, this fire reveals what easy days can easily hide. When life is smooth, silent patterns remain completely unnoticed. Pride hides as confidence. Control poses as responsibility. Fear feels like wisdom, and old bitterness masks itself as simple self-protection. Distraction masquerades as rest. But when my heat begins, these hidden things rise to the top. I do not do this to shame you, but to free you. My child, when the heat brings these things to light, do not run away from me. Run right to me. Bring me the sudden anger. Bring me the fear that bubbled up, the jealousy, the bitterness, the fatigue, the ancient wound, and the quiet insecurity. I saw it all before you did. I am never shocked by what the heat exposes. I am the healer of whatever comes to light. My dear child, you have often prayed for a pure heart while fearing the very process that actually makes it clean. You ask to be free, yet you cling to what binds you. You ask for deep quiet while defending the very habits that disrupt your rest. I do not condemn you for this battle. I simply love you too much to let those heavy things rule your heart anymore. So I shape you here in the quiet, gently but truly. Remember those three who stood in the furnace. The fire was real, the heat was real. To everyone watching, the danger looked absolute. Yet they were never alone in those flames. Another was right there. The fire held no real power over them. What was meant to destroy them only revealed my presence inside that heat. I need you to hear this in your quietest space. You are not alone in the fire. I am here. My dear child, this quiet fire touches your deepest motives. It reveals where you chased approval instead of my heart, and where you served out of pure exhaustion rather than love. It exposes the times you said yes just to avoid letting people down, not because I led you. Do not fear this moment of truth. Seeing clearly is where your healing begins. Now let this warmth touch how you speak. Let me slow your words. I want to teach you to let go of defending yourself, to stop fighting every misunderstanding and speaking every heavy emotion. You will see that some words came from fear, some from pride or from pain. Then we will learn to speak from quiet peace. Next, this fire touches what you hold tight. You clung to certain things just to feel secure even when they kept your soul locked away. Some desires were not bad, but they became far too heavy for you to carry. There are dreams you must release back to me, not to lose your joy, but so I can hand them back to you, beautiful and clean. Nothing safe in my hands is ever truly lost. Whatever belongs in your future will return to you with clear purpose. My child, do not walk away from this healing too soon. The Creator watches the warmth carefully, never leaving the gold in the heat. I watch until your true face is reflected clearly. I know the exact measure. I know the timing. I know when you need pressure and when to send relief. I will not keep you in this testing a single second longer than love demands. Trust my touch. Trust my gaze. Trust my heart. My sweet child, this process is not the enemy of peace. It is actually the way I make your peace unshakable. When secrets stay hidden, your quiet is easily broken. When fear rules your mind, rest is only temporary. When old wounds run your life, peace feels so fragile. But when my warmth clears away what is false peace, finally has room to settle deep. That is why I refine, not to rob you of rest, but to make that rest real inside you. One day you will look back and see that this heat did not break you. It made you clear. It stripped away the mixed motives, the heavy masks, the exhausting need to prove yourself, and the fear of being invisible. It proved that you can walk through the flames unharmed, because I am right here. You will not smell of defeat. You will carry the fragrance of new life. My dear child, let this sacred warmth finish its work. Do not run from the light that reveals. Do not hold on to what I take away. Do not fear the warmth while I am right beside you. I am not destroying who you are. I am freeing the real you from the ashes. You are being beautifully cleared. You are being prepared to hold real peace without pretending to love without fear and to walk without pride. And when this heat finishes, I will never leave you standing alone in the ashes. I will pour out my living water to restore, wash, and heal you, renewing every dry, exhausted space deep inside your soul. My sweet child, once the quiet heat has done its work, I want you to see what I have prepared for you next. I never leave you in the dust. I bring gentle waters to revive your spirit. My child, there are times when my fire must separate what is false, but my water always comes to build up what is real. Heat melts away the old shell. Water brings life back to the heart beneath. Fire reveals the secrets. Water soothes everything that has become weary, tender, and dry. Both are my deep mercy. Both are my love. Both belong to your healing. My dear child, I know how painful this changing process feels. It feels like old wounds have been ripped open. It feels like your heart is more tender than ever before. It feels as though you are suddenly holding burdens you cannot carry, without any idea how to piece your life back together. That is why I offer water. Not a quick fix, not a temporary escape, but living water. My spirit reaches depths that human words can never touch. It flows beneath your loudest thoughts, soothing memories that still feel heavy. It softens the hard ground where disappointment left you completely dry. It enters those hidden rooms where you locked the door and forced yourself to keep walking. I never rush past those secret spaces. I enter gently. I restore patiently. My beloved child, you have tried to heal yourself in so many ways. You tried to rest, but your mind kept racing. You tried to forget, but the memories kept flooding back. You tried to stay strong, but your spirit was still dry. You tried to push through. Yet some days even positive words could not reach your deepest ache. I saw that pain. I knew it was not a sign of weakness. It was a beautiful sign that your soul was crying out for me. When the ground is dry, it does not need judgment. It needs rain. When a stream is blocked, it does not need accusation. It needs to be cleared. When your heart is worn down by endless pressure, it does not need another heavy demand. It needs my presence flowing through your chest once more. So receive this water. Let it flow slowly if it must, without any resistance. My precious child, this water does not erase your story. It redeems it. I am not asking you to forget the things that shaped you. I am breaking the power of the things that hurt you. That is the difference. A redeemed memory no longer rules your thoughts, and healed wounds no longer drown out my truth. You will remember, but you will not be ruled. You can look back without returning. You will carry wisdom without the heavy weight. My child, this is true restoration. We are not pretending the past never happened. We are letting my life heal those places where the past tried to master you. It is letting my spirit wash fear from past decisions, shame from old wounds, and exhaustion from your long obedience. I am washing you deeper than your eyes can see. My beloved child, sometimes my water falls from your eyes as tears. Do not despise them. Do not call them a failure. Those tears can be the gentle stream that softens ground hard for too long. When you weep in my quiet presence, you are not falling apart. You are letting what was locked deep inside begin to move. I am gentle with your tears. I receive them. I do not waste them. My child, sometimes my water flows as peace in your quiet prayer. You may not receive every answer, but you feel held. You may not know tomorrow, but you feel me near today. You may still have questions, yet something deep inside becomes less afraid. That is my water flowing directly into your anxious spaces. Receive this peace as real. Do not dismiss it just because it is quiet. My beloved child, sometimes my water comes through rest. Sacred, honest rest. A beautiful rest without any guilt. The kind of rest that gently whispers, I am not the source of my own life. It lets your body breathe, your mind quiet down, and your spirit remember you are my child before you are a servant. You do not have to earn my care by exhausting yourself. You do not have to prove your faithfulness by never stopping. My child, I lead you beside still waters because I know how easily life empties you. I restore your soul because I see where you have given far more than you received. I call you to drink because I know you cannot pour out living water while refusing to receive it yourself. Come and drink, not just once, but again and again. My beloved child, my restoration is not only for your emotions. It reaches your choices. It teaches you to stop drinking from bitter wells. It shows you the difference between what refreshes and what drains. It gives you courage to walk away from those voices, habits, and patterns that keep your soul thirsty. Some wells look familiar, but cannot heal you. Some places promise relief, but only deepen your emptiness. Let me lead you to the water that gives true life. My child, when I restore your soul, you will begin to feel healthy desires returning. Not desire for old distractions, but desire for what is clean, peaceful, and true. Talking with me will feel less like a burden and more like breathing. Stillness will become less frightening to you. Your heart will begin to trust that peace can remain. This is my quiet work. Do not force it or hurry it. Let the stream flow. My beloved child, the water I bring also prepares you for obedience. A restored soul hears my voice much more clearly. A refreshed heart serves without bitterness. A cleansed mind discerns without panic. When you drink from my presence, you do not become passive. You become alive in the truest way. You move from fullness, not fear. You give from grace, not emptiness. You walk from peace, not pressure. My child, I am restoring what the fire revealed. I am soothing what refinement made tender. I am strengthening what has been purified. I am not finished with you after exposing what was false. I am faithful to renew what is true inside you. So let my water reach your dry places today. Let it touch your tired places. Let it flow through the hidden rooms. Let it remind you that I never wound to leave you wounded. I refine to free and I restore to make you whole. My beloved child, receive the water that restores your soul. Drink from my presence. Rest beside my stillness. Let my spirit wash through the parts of you that have been thirsty for too long. Do not overlook my quiet river because it is not wrapped in spectacle. My simplest instruction can carry the deepest healing for you right now. And as you learn to receive this restoration in simple, humble ways, I will show you the story of Naaman and how a miracle can be hidden in an ordinary river when a willing heart chooses to obey. My beloved child, as you learn to receive the water that restores your soul, let me show you how easily my deep healing can be hidden inside something so simple. Naaman almost missed his miracle because it looked too ordinary. He came with status. He came with high expectations. He came with a need no title could heal. My child Naaman was known by others as strong, respected, and successful. People saw the armor, the position, the authority, and the victories. But beneath what others admired, there was a condition he could not conquer by force. There was a need that followed him home after every public triumph. That is how so many hurting hearts live, seen in one way by people, but known in another way by me. My beloved child, you may understand this more than you realize. Others may see your responsibilities, your smile, your hard work, and your strength. They assume you are fine because you continue to function. But I see the places human eyes can never touch. I see what still needs healing beneath the surface. And I am not ashamed to meet you there. Naaman had to seek help in a way that deeply humbled him. The answer did not arrive through the display he expected. He imagined the prophet would stand before him, call upon my name with great ceremony, wave his hand and cure him in a dramatic moment. He expected healing to match his idea of greatness, but my instruction came simply wash in the Jordan. My child, this offended him. The river did not look impressive enough. The instruction did not feel grand enough. The process did not honor the image he had built. He wanted something that matched his status, but I was offering something that would heal his soul as well as his body. Sometimes I give simple steps because I am not only healing the wound, I am healing the pride around it. My beloved child, You have also expected me to move in very specific ways. You have imagined answers arriving through obvious signs, sudden changes, powerful feelings, or massive doors opening in a way everyone could recognize. But many times my mercy comes quietly. It comes as a simple step, a gentle apology, a moment of deep rest, or a small act of obedience. A decision to stop replaying what wounded your soul. A quiet willingness to pray again. Do not reject the quiet river because you wanted thunder. Do not overlook the simple path because your deep pain wanted a dramatic rescue. My child, I know why you crave big, dramatic signs. They make you feel like I am truly here, instantly quieting your deepest doubts. But if I only showed up in overwhelming moments, you would never find me in the quiet, ordinary days. I want you to know my presence in the gentle rain, not just the lightning, not just in the vast open sky, but in the peaceful flowing river. Not only in the miracle, but in the quiet heart that receives it. Naaman had to let go of his pride. He had to yield and listen before the healing could even begin. My beloved child, this is where so many block their own healing, not because I refuse them, but because they fear letting go of control. You want to be restored without being humbled. You want freedom without surrender, and peace without following the quiet path that leads there. Do not make your healing harder by resisting how simple my voice is. My child, listen to the gentle things I have already asked of you. Just slow down. Let go of that resentment. Protect your peace. Pray again. Let your body rest and speak truth instead of constant worry. Stop going back to what leaves your soul empty. Forgive slowly, step by step. Ask for my wisdom and wait before you react. Trust me with the things you cannot fix. These steps may seem small to you, but they are rivers of deep healing. My beloved child, even Naaman needed humble voices to guide him. His servants asked if he would have refused had the task been grand. Would you not have done it then? Those simple words broke through his pride. He finally listened, stepped down, and washed in the river as directed. Healing did not happen before he obeyed. It came the moment he let go. My child, I can use humble voices to guide you back too. A quiet word from a friend, a single line in a message, a peaceful thought, or a gentle reminder that softens your stubborn walls. Do not let pride stop you from accepting help from unexpected places. I often send my greatest mercies through the gentlest hands. My beloved child, when Naaman stepped out of that water, he was entirely whole. The miracle was not just his healed skin. It was that a proud man learned to receive with a soft heart. That ordinary river touched more than his body. It reached the secret hidden spaces of his soul. That is how I work. I do not just treat symptoms. I heal the roots. My child, I am bringing you a restoration that goes far deeper than what others see. I will not settle for fixing your outer life while your heart is still trapped by fear, shame, or exhaustion. I love you too much to give you shallow healing, so I might lead you to a quiet, ordinary river. I might ask you to take a very simple step, inviting you into gentle obedience, not because I lack the power to do more, but because my power shines brightest in your surrender. My beloved child, is there a simple river before you now? A hard conversation you have put off? A heavy habit to release, a quiet prayer to find again? Or a heavy burden you need to place back into my hands? It might not look impressive to others, but simple obedience does not need an audience to bring healing. Just take this step with me. Do not move in panic pride or a need to earn my love. Just walk with me because you trust me. I do not need you to figure everything out first. Naaman did not know how washing in a river would make him clean. He only had to decide if his pride would yield to my voice. That is where true faith is born. Not when you have all the answers, but when you trust the one speaking. My beloved child, do not mock these small beginnings. Do not search for a grander river when I have chosen this one for you. Do not delay your healing just because my instruction feels too small. What I bless does not need to look spectacular. Whatever I breathe upon will carry real life. Step into the water. Let your defenses down. Let your struggle soften into quiet peace. My child, the miracle hidden in simplicity is not behind you. It is right in front of you. I am teaching you to find me in tiny steps, soft whispers, gentle rhythms, and quiet surrender. As you accept this quiet healing, you will see that even pain can be a doorway to new life, because my hands are shaping something beautiful in the middle of the pressure. My beloved child, as you realize a miracle can hide inside a simple step, let me speak softly to that deep place inside you that still fears hurting. Pain is not always a sign of loss. Sometimes it is the very beginning of a new birth. My child, I know that is hard to hear. When you are hurting, your heart does not think about birth. It only feels like the end of everything. It worries about damage and what might never come back. Heavy pain makes your mind close up and leaves your soul completely exhausted. In that exhaustion, you start to believe that the heavy weight is breaking you. But hear me. Not all pressure is meant to destroy you. Sometimes pressure is an opening, a stretching of your soul, the quiet movement of a new life getting ready to emerge. My beloved child, when a mother laboring in birth feels pain, that suffering is very real. There is no need to pretend it is easy. Nobody tells her it is imaginary. Yet that pain is not useless. It has a clear purpose. It does not steal her hope. It simply prepares space for the life that is coming. It is the same for your soul. What you feel as painful stretching is actually your heart expanding. I am making more room inside of you, room for a deeper peace, a stronger trust, and a love that is no longer ruled by fear. My child, I know there were times you begged me to end the pressure. You wanted that tight space to close. You wanted instant relief instead of deep truth. And I understood. I saw how exhausted you were fighting for breath under a weight too heavy to carry. I did not judge your weakness. I simply met you in it, my beloved child. I still knew the beautiful thing taking shape inside you. I knew if I lifted the pressure too soon, before its work was done, you might have felt temporary relief, but your soul would be too small for the blessings I am preparing to give you. Love does not just comfort, it shapes. Love knows when to hold you, when to build you up, and when to whisper, just keep breathing. I am here. This is not your punishment, my child. I am shaping you. This is not rejection, but preparation. This narrow, quiet space is no prison when I am the one leading you through it. It is the path leading you out of old limits and into a new life. What looked like a solid wall becomes a door when my hand rests upon it. Do not let your ache tell you lies. Your pain will try to convince you that you are alone, that this is the absolute end, and that nothing good can ever come from this dark corner. But I speak a deeper truth to your soul. You are not alone, and this is not the end. I bring life to the very places you have called dead. A seed has to split open before the shoot can rise. The hard shell must break so the life inside can finally reach the light. To the seed, that cracking open feels like total ruin. But to the gardener, it is only the start. You thought you were breaking, but you were actually opening. I see them as new beginnings. I am not asking you to love the hurt, my child. I am only asking you to trust me inside of it. There is a difference. Do not pretend it does not hurt. Just bring that ache into this quiet room with me, where the pain can no longer rule over your heart. Pain gripped by fear turns into torment, but when you let me hold your pain, it becomes a quiet transformation. Just hand it over to me. You do not have to hide it or paint over it. Do not pretend you are fine. I can handle the raw truth of your ache, and I will sit with you when you have no words left. I can hold your trembling thoughts. I can carry the silent questions you are too afraid to ask. You do not have to be composed for me to draw close. I draw close because you are mine. There is a special kind of ache that comes when you are finally letting go of an old identity. It feels unsettling to outgrow the version of you that only survived through fear. It is okay to grieve when old patterns fade, even if they were hurting you. You might feel incredibly vulnerable as your defenses crumble. But this is just birth. The old skin is falling away so new life can finally breathe. There is a quiet pain when a dream is being purified. You have carried this hope for years. But now I am gently stripping away the pride, impatience, and comparison. The dream will feel different now. Quieter, softer, and more surrendered. Do not make the mistake of thinking it is dying. Sometimes I have to change how you hold my promises before you can walk in them. And yes, there is a deep ache that comes when your love begins to mature. Fearful love clings because it dreads loss. Mature love simply blesses, forgives, releases, and stays grounded in me. Shifting from fear to love hurts because your old armor must crack open. But as it falls, your heart grows wider and so much cleaner. Your wounds no longer run the show. I am teaching you to love from absolute peace, not from panic emptiness or a need to control. Remember this. New life rarely starts with a loud celebration. Often, it begins with quiet endurance, a single deep breath, or a whispered, surrendered prayer. It is simply deciding not to run back to the past and letting me shape what you cannot yet explain. Do not ignore these quiet beginnings. Life is moving before anyone else can see. I know this tight space has felt endless. I know you have wondered if this crushing weight will ever turn into joy. But remember, I am closer than the pressure. I am closer than your fear. I am not standing far off just to see if you make it. I am right beside you, breathing new life into your weakest places. Just keep breathing with me. Trust my hand. Let me keep shaping you. What is being born inside you is not some fragile, temporary feeling. It is a deep, quiet peace, a sacred strength, a heart that can face suffering without turning heavy and bitter, a heart that can love without losing its way. Do not fear being stretched. I am not tearing you apart. I am simply making room for the deep peace and wisdom your future will need. This is your new life beginning. This is my work. Hurt is not the final name of this season of your life. New birth is. Renewal is. This heavy pressure will not get the final word. My promise will. And as this new life stirs inside you, the tears you have cried will no longer look like signs of weakness. They will become like a gentle rain, softening your heart for what I am about to plant next. As this fresh start begins to grow in your soul, I want you to stop feeling ashamed of the tears you have wept along this path. They are only softening your ground. Your tears do not mean you are weak, nor do they mean your faith is gone. I never look down on them. I see every single tear you shed in the dark. I see the ones you quickly brush away before anyone can look, and the tears that stay locked inside, weighing heavily on your soul. I see you trying so hard to keep it together, even when everything inside is screaming to be held. I will never turn away from that hurt. I only draw closer. You have spent your life in a world that constantly tells you to hide your tears. It demands that you stay strong, move on, keep going, and mask your pain. But I have never measured your strength by how dry your eyes are. Sometimes the strongest soul is the one brave enough to finally break down and cry in my presence. Tears are a quiet prayer when you have no words left. They are your heart saying, "Father, I simply cannot carry this weight by myself anymore." I hear that prayer and I completely understand. When the ground has been baked hard by the heat, it cannot take in new seeds. The rain must fall first. The earth must soften. The surface has to break open so what was hard can become tender again. Your heart did the exact same thing. It grew hard because life taught you to protect yourself. You did not build those walls without a reason. You were deeply hurt, let down, and left waiting. You carried far more than anyone ever knew. I do not blame your hardened ground. I only water it. I will never reject your guarded heart. I will always approach you with gentleness. I do not blame the quiet corners of your heart that shut down to survive. I will stay right here until you feel safe enough to open again. Your tears are helping you open up. My child, some of those tears are just heavy grief finally leaving, while others are old fears coming out of hiding. Sometimes your tears are ancient disappointments finally finding rest in my hands. Other times, they are a deep ache for what is real after years of shallow living. Let them fall in my presence, not in defeat, but in quiet trust. My sweet child, some tears only fall to clear your eyes. When you bottle up pain for too long, it colors everything you see. You might experience a simple delay and mistake it for total rejection. You might face silence and believe I have left you. You might receive guidance and fear it is judgment or view rest as failure. But as I gently soften your heart, your vision changes. You will start to see my hand where you once saw loss, and growth where you saw delay. You will find mercy where you once felt empty. My child, I am not asking you to let your emotions run your life. I am showing you how to bring those feelings to me. There is a difference. Feelings kept from me can toss your soul like wild waves, but feelings surrendered to me become refreshing water to heal your dry ground. Do not worship your emotions, and do not fear them either. Bring them to me. My beloved child, I know you have held back tears because you feared that if you ever started crying, you would never stop. But I am the one who can hold the floodgates. I know how to let the pain escape your heart without letting you drown in it. I know how to bring deep peace after the crying stops. You are safe here. Even when you do not understand your own tears, I do. I know the hidden story behind your words. I see the wound beneath your defense, the exhaustion in your silence, and the longing behind your anger. I see the hope beneath your fear. Nothing inside your heart confuses me, my beloved child. When you cry here with me, you are not failing. Often you are stepping forward through a door your mind could never open on its own. Real healing does not start with answers. It begins with softening. It begins with raw honesty. It starts when your heart stops acting strong and whispers, "I need you here." And I will enter your hidden room to sit beside your pain. My child, do not compare your journey to anyone else. Some soil softens right away while other ground needs endless rain. Some hearts have survived such long winters that tenderness takes time to return. I am deeply patient. I know how fast to rebuild you, and I never rush what is fragile. Let my quiet rain fall. Let your heart soften and receive my promise. My beloved child, there are beautiful seeds I have waited to plant deep within you. Seeds of peace, seeds of courage, trust, pure love, wisdom, and quiet confidence. These seeds could never grow while your heart was heavily guarded by fear, shame, and ancient pain. But now, as tears water your soul, new life can take root. This is why your weeping is never wasted. It is making room. They are clearing the ground inside you. They are part of your renewal. My child, happy are those who grieve, for they will find comfort. This comfort is not cheap sympathy. It is my very spirit entering your deepest ache to whisper this pain will not rule you forever. This grief will not define your life, and your soft heart will not be weaponized. I will meet you right here and heal you. My beloved child, receive my healing peace right now. Let it ease your racing mind, cover your chest, and soften every tight space inside your soul. Let it remind your weary body and aching soul that you do not have to brace for pain anymore. I am close, kind, and rebuilding you. My child, as your heart softens, do not fear that tenderness. Being soft is not weakness. It means you can receive. It means you can grow. It means you are no longer locked away from love. A tender heart held by me is stronger than a cold heart trying to survive alone. Let me keep your soul tender. Let me protect what I soften and plant what lasts. My beloved child, your tears are never ignored. Your tears have watered dry places you thought were dead. They opened rooms you thought were locked, preparing you for the beautiful things I am about to build. As your inner ground becomes tender under my care, I will start to build a lasting foundation that can never be shaken by your fears or the loud, shifting winds of this world. Rest in my peace, my beloved child. Now that tears have softened your inner soil, I want you to see what I am building. I am laying a deep heavenly foundation within you. This is not a fleeting feeling or a brief calm that vanishes in the next storm. My child, I am building something far deeper than temporary comfort. I am building a sturdy structure that can hold peace, truth, wisdom, and everlasting love. Your soft heart is beautiful, but a tender heart must have a sacred foundation. Otherwise, it remains vulnerable to every scary voice, fear, and disappointment, and every heavy pressure. That is why I work deep beneath the surface. You look for quick flowers, but I'm laying solid stones. I'm growing deep roots first. My beloved child, the strength I am building in you does not start on the outside. It begins in your quietest hidden room, where I heal your thoughts, purify your desires, and gently slow down your reactions until your entire identity is safely anchored in me. The world builds fast on shallow praise, but I build slowly on truth. What I build slowly, I build to last. What I shape in secret will stand strong in public. My child, you have tried other foundations. Some were based on a desperate need to be understood, some on being useful to everyone, and some on the crippling fear of letting people down. Others were built on constant planning, tight self-protection, or the quiet hope that if nothing changed, you could finally stay safe. I do not blame you for trying to build there. I see why you did. But those old foundations can never hold the deep life I am preparing for you, my dear child. Any foundation you build out of fear will only demand more fear to keep it standing. If you build on people's approval, you will shake whenever they change. If you build on control, you will end up exhausted, because life always brings storms you cannot manage on your own. That is why I am leading you back to my kingdom, not as a distant concept, but as a living truth inside you. My child, my kingdom starts when my voice brings quiet to your heart, and truth silences your panic. It begins when following me matters more than applause, and quiet trust feels safer than pride. It starts when you need my presence more than anyone else's approval. This is not temporary work. It is eternal, my dear one. I am shaping a deep ground within you that will not crumble when the world shakes. Things will shift and people will misunderstand you. Doors may stay closed and seasons will demand patience. But with your foundation in me, you will never lose yourself when everything moves around you. You will stand firm not because you are numb, but because you are deeply rooted. You see, the hardest work is never glamorous while it is happening. Nobody cheers for the silent stone buried under the dirt. No one praises the beams beneath the floor. Yet when the heavy rains come down, that secret foundation is what saves the house. Do not hate this quiet, invisible progress. Do not beg for flowers on the surface while I am anchoring your roots deep below. My dear child, we are building this foundation together through your surrender. I am teaching you to let go of needing all the answers before you trust me. I am teaching you to leave your hardest questions in my hands without feeling like I have abandoned you. Faith does not mean the end of all mystery, but choosing to stay close to me while the fog is still thick. That very closeness is your strength. My child, we are also laying these stones through gratitude. Not a fake smile that pretends it does not hurt, but a holy remembrance of my constant love as your story unfolds. Gratitude keeps your soul from turning bitter. It trains your eyes to see my hand. It reminds you that emptiness is not the only voice speaking. I am teaching you to count my mercies, to notice grace, and to remember how far I have already carried you. My dear child, we are building this foundation through small, quiet moments of obedience. A soft answer instead of a sharp sting. A quiet prayer instead of endless worrying. Setting a boundary with a peaceful heart. Choosing to rest. Deciding to forgive slowly and honestly. Coming back to me before you react. These quiet choices are the heavy stones we need. Do not treat them as small things. I use them to make you steady. My child, as my kingdom takes root deep inside you, you will notice something changing deep down. You will still feel afraid sometimes, but fear won't be the one running your life anymore. You may still feel deep sorrow, but it won't define you. You will feel pressure, but it won't be the force that decides your path. This is how freedom becomes your skeleton, and peace becomes your home. My dear one, I am not turning you into someone cold and distant. My foundation does not freeze your heart. It makes you steady. It lets you love people deeply without being controlled by the fear of losing them. To serve without draining yourself for their applause. To speak truth without anger. And to finally rest without feeling guilty. Being steady is not the same as being hard. It is love shielded by truth and gentleness held by wisdom. My child, I must clear away what does not belong here. Old lies, hidden idols, your silent deals with shame and the exhausting belief that you have to earn my love by burning yourself out. The deep fear that if you stop running, everything will collapse. Let them go. They are not supporting you. They are only crushing you. My beloved child, I know this clearing feels like a painful loss. When you have leaned on something for so long, even if it was unstable, letting it go is terrifying. But I am not leaving you empty. I am replacing those broken crutches with myself, teaching your soul to lean on what can never fail. You cannot fall when I am holding you. My child, let the ground settle. Do not force fruit to grow before the soil is ready. Stop comparing your quiet, unseen healing to someone else's public harvest. I know exactly what kind of home I am building inside you. I know the heavy weight your future will hold. I know the deep peace, the wisdom, the courage, and the gentle compassion you are going to need. My dear child, this quiet foundation inside you will eventually become a safe place where others find shelter. A steady heart is a refuge. A quiet soul is a light. A life built on me is a silent hand reaching out to those who are still trembling. So let me build. Let me restore what your tears have softened. The ground has opened. The stones are set, and the foundation is growing strong. And when this inner work is strong enough, I will lift you from this quiet room into your true purpose. Not just to comfort you, but so you can carry my peace to the broken places where I send you. My dear child, as our foundation grows solid, look at what comes next. I am calling you forward, not into heavy pressure and not to perform for me. I am not giving you a heavy burden to carry alone. My child, being sent is not like being pushed. I never throw my children into the deep end unprepared. I am not calling you forward to prove you are worthy. I call you because my life has finally taken shape inside your quiet soul. You have not just been comforted, you are being trusted. You have not just been healed, you are being sent out with my peace. My dear child, for a long time you thought healing was the final stop. You just wanted relief. You just wanted things to be quiet. In the quiet of your heart, you just wanted the pain to stop, the fear to fade, and that heavy weight to lift. I felt that silent cry, and I met you right there. But listen closely to this truth. Healing is never the final stop on your journey. My touch prepares you for a deeper purpose. When I mend your heart, I do not just take away the hurt. I expand your capacity to love. In calming your storm, I am doing more than keeping you afloat. I am preparing you to be an anchor for others. The peace I give was never meant to stay hidden. I am turning your life into a channel for my peace to flow. This is your sending. My dear one, do not let that word frighten you. It does not mean I am stealing your rest, nor does it mean you must suddenly raise your voice. You do not need to look important to the world. It simply starts when a healed heart makes itself available and whispers, "Father, take this restoration." Sometimes it is just sharing a kind word, or whispering a silent prayer for someone who is hurting. Sometimes it is choosing patience where frustration used to flare, or bringing a quiet stillness into a room full of heavy tension. You might feel these acts are too small, but heaven does not count success the way people do. A simple act of love carries my presence, and a soft word can lift a heavy soul. Just listening can offer shelter, and a quiet, faithful life speaks volumes without ever seeking attention. You do not need a spotlight to be sent by me. You only need a willing heart, deep love, and my constant presence. Remember how I chose those who came before you? I called Moses from the lonely desert, and Gideon when he felt completely insignificant. Mary was given her sacred task in a simple, quiet room. The disciples were just regular folks when I invited them into my work. I have always loved placing extraordinary purpose inside ordinary souls. So do not say you are too plain, or that you have nothing to give, or that this is for someone stronger. The heart that has been comforted can comfort others. The one who has patiently waited can strengthen another heart that is still waiting. Because you cried in secret and found me there, you can speak real hope to someone else who feels forgotten. Your struggle has not ruled you out. In my hands, your pain has prepared you. I never waste your dark valleys. I do not waste your tears. And I remember every night you survived purely by faith. My dear child, this path does not steal your gentle spirit. It guards it with wisdom. I am not sending you out into the world hardened by your past pain. I am sending you out softened by my grace and anchored by my truth. This world does not need more loud shouting. It needs gentle souls who carry my quiet peace. You are becoming that very beacon. Yet there will be days when you deeply doubt if you are ready. You will feel that familiar hesitation creep back, bringing memories of past failures and quiet fears. You might whisper, "Father, what if I am too weak?" What if I let you down? What if this burden is too heavy? Please, listen to my voice. I would never send you out alone. I am going right beside you. My precious child, I never give a task without promising my presence. I never hand you a calling and then walk away. I journey with you, whispering guidance, showing gentle mercy, and lifting you up when your knees grow weak. I will give you wisdom for paths you have never walked. You do not need to be perfect to be confident. Your strength comes from knowing I am near. My child, this new chapter will completely transform how you look at your past. You will no longer view your history as just a survival story. You will see how it built wisdom, deep empathy, and trust. What hurt you will no longer control you. The fire that shaped you will now serve a beautiful purpose. My dear one, do not run ahead in a hurry, nor hide away in fear. Just walk with me. This journey needs both brave steps and a soft heart. Courage to move when I call, and humility to keep learning. Courage to speak, humility to listen. Courage to help, and humility to hand the glory back to me. My child, I will bring people into your life who desperately need the quiet peace I gave you. You might not even realize who they are at first. A simple chat can change a life. A secret prayer can heal a wound no public sermon could touch. One small, kind act might open the door for a tired soul to find me again. Just stay open, stay gentle, and hold my hand. My dear child, I am moving you from waiting into action. You are no longer standing on the sidelines, watching from afar. I am drawing you directly into the river of my work. Not like a tired worker struggling to earn my love, but as my precious child, simply sharing the gifts you have been given. You received peace, so take that peace to others. You received mercy, now show mercy. You received light, now let that light shine through your life. My child, your healing is not over. It will keep unfolding with every step you take. I will continue to shape you, teach you, and mend the deepest corners of your soul. But do not wait until you feel completely put together before you follow me. I use willing hearts, not perfect ones. Let your yes be genuine, and walk in peace. Keep your heart open to me, my dear child. I am sending you out because the strong foundation we built inside is not just for you anymore. The peace we cultivated in secret will now overflow to bless others. The deep comfort I poured into your hidden wounds will now stream out to touch others. As you take these steps, you will begin to see a beautiful new truth. You are not just delivering a message. You are becoming a pillar of light anchored in my presence, shining effortlessly and standing tall where darkness once tried to hide. My dear one, as I send you forth and teach you to bring my stillness to the weary places of this world, I want you to see what I am building deep inside you. You are becoming a steady, glowing pillar of light, not a fleeting spark, not a brief emotion. You are not a flickering candle that dies when the wind blows. My child, this light deep inside you is not something you have to force. Real light flows from simply staying close to me. It comes from quiet connection shining from a heart I have gently healed, refined, and set free. You do not have to create this warmth yourself. You only need to stay near the source. When I call you a pillar of light, my child, I am not feeding your pride. I am not asking you to stand above anyone else. I do not need you to be loud, cold, or distant. A true pillar never boasts. It simply stands, holding space and showing the way. It stays steady when the path gets dark. That is what I am building within you. Focus, peace, and quiet strength. This world is full of sudden flashes, but very few steady flames. So many voices burn bright for a second, then disappear. There are loud promises that sound beautiful, but leave you hollow. Cheap distractions glow just long enough to steal you away from what is real. But the warmth I am growing in your quiet spaces is different. It does not crave attention. It does not live on praise, and it never fades when unnoticed. It endures because I endure. I know you do not feel like a beacon right now. You only see your broken pieces. You still remember those sleepless nights where you felt lost, exhausted, and so small. You wonder how a heart that carries such heavy grief can ever hold a bright flame. But listen closely to my voice. A flame is not defined by the dark room around it. It is defined by what it does when the shadows gather. My child, I did not wait for your storms to pass before starting my work in you. I molded this light while you were still learning how to breathe. I kept it safe while tears softened your tired heart. I built its strength while your old chains were falling away. I shaped you in fire and washed you in grace. What felt like mere survival was actually your preparation. I was making you bright in the secret, quiet places of your soul. Remember, a light does not need to scream at the dark. It never argues with the shadows. It simply shows up and the night retreats. In this same quiet way, I am teaching you to stop striving so hard. You do not need to force your way. You do not need to chase applause or prove to anyone that I am with you. Just stay here. Let my quiet presence do the talking. When my flame is steady in your heart, others will feel peace before they even understand why. They will find safety near you. Your quiet patience will give them strength. They will remember what hope feels like just by watching you walk through trials without growing bitter. They will see your gentleness and realize that true power is soft. This is not a show you are putting on. It is me living through you as a walking message. I am not making you someone who just talks about peace, but someone who carries it. You will not just speak of healing. Your very presence will prove it is real. You will not just believe in the dawn. You will stand as the light in rooms where heavy confusion used to rule. This is a sacred path. Hold it gently. Keep it safe in prayer. My child, even a pillar of light must have deep roots. If you try to shine without deep roots, you will burn out. If you try to pour yourself out without letting me fill you, you will run dry. If you try to guide others without listening to my whisper, your own voice will weigh you down. This is why I call you to be still. Quietness guards the flame. My child, never let this world turn your sacred calling into a theatrical show. Do not let the constant demands of others make you forget how much you need me. Never let your desire to heal pull you from the secret place where I heal you. You are not a lonely lamp trying to burn on its own. You are reflecting a light that never fades. Stay close to me. Stay soft. Let me fill you. There will be moments when your quiet light exposes the dark things people hide. Not because you are harsh, but because you are real. Your calm may show them their own inner chaos. Your quiet patience may expose their frantic rushing. Your sweet forgiveness may remind them of their own unhealed hurts. Never use my light to wound. Let it be an open door. Speak truth with gentle love. Stand strong in mercy, and shine without judging anyone. My child, I am teaching you to hold both love and truth together. Love without truth creates confusion. Truth without love only deepens the wounds I want to heal. But inside my heart, mercy and truth walk hand in hand. They never fight each other. Together they show who I really am. So as I send you out, do not grow hard and do not grow reckless. Let my spirit teach you when to speak, how to stay silent, and how to hold space. My child, some will not understand your peace. They might even fight it.
They may try to pull you back to your old ways because they liked you better when you were broken. Do not get angry. Do not boast. But do not hide.
Just stand quietly in what I have built. You can love others without losing yourself. You can serve without giving up your ground. You can be soft without being weak. My child, a true pillar does not shake in the wind. It does not bend to every whisper. It never dims its glow just to make the shadows feel comfortable. It does not grow proud when others gather around its warmth. It stands because I built it. And that is exactly what I am doing inside you. I am grounding you, no longer searching for who you are, but living securely in whose you are. My child, never forget this. The flame belongs to me, but I have chosen your heart to hold it. Let that bring you deep peace, not fear. You do not carry this weight alone. The hand that lit your flame is the hand that feeds it. The one sending you is walking right beside you. Do not fear where I lead. Do not fear the shadows waiting there. My light is far greater. My child, as you grow, steady peace will no longer be just a secret gift you feel in private. It will become a quiet grace you carry into every conversation, every room, and every decision. Step into your home, into those dark corners where others need to know, I am here. Stand with me, shine with me, rest in me. As this inner light grows steady, I will pull you into this quiet room where your light is protected and prepared to guide your steps. My beautiful child, as your inner light grows stronger and you stand tall in my love, I want to bring you back to this hidden space where we meet. Quiet is where I heal you, not in the rush or the endless noise. My child, never think this silence means you are useless. Do not assume that because I lead you into this quiet room, your purpose is gone. This stillness is not a loss of your calling. This is the very room where your calling is made pure, strong, and ready to endure. A lamp needs oil to burn. A branch must stay joined to the vine. To carry my peace, your heart must keep returning here. My beloved child, the world insists that rushing is progress. It tells you that if you are not posting, producing, or striving, answering, and always reacting, you are falling behind. But I do not measure your progress by speed. I look at the depth of your roots. Rushing with shallow roots leads to a quick collapse. But quiet growth in my presence can weather any storm. My child, I am not holding you back to make you small. I am slowing you down so your soul can grow deep. A shallow stream dries up quickly under the heat, but the deep waters in this hidden room will sustain you when everything else is dry. That is what we are building here. Hidden depth, quiet strength, and an inner peace that needs no applause. My beloved child, many fear the silence because it reveals what the noise tried to hide. Here your heart finally hears its own voice. Old anxieties rise and buried pain stirs. The things you ran from are now visible. It feels heavy. But I did not bring you here to expose you. I brought you here to heal the wounds that the busyness kept interrupting. I do not want to overwhelm you. I am inviting you to sit with me in this quiet place until your soul is restored. I have words for you that the rush would drown out. There is healing that requires tenderness. There is guidance that requires calm. I cannot comfort you while your mind is running from one fear to another. So stay here with me. Let your mind quiet down enough to hear what my love is whisper speaking to you. My beloved child Jesus often stepped away to pray. He loved people, but he never let their constant demands pull him from his secret communion with the Father. He healed, taught, and served with great power, yet he knew that this hidden inner room was what mattered most. This is not weakness. this is wisdom. If he cherished this quiet communion, do not avoid this gentle space I have made for you. My child, resting here is not laziness. It is alignment. It is returning to the source before you give again, letting your thoughts be washed in my peace before they become words.
It is letting your motives be gently sorted before they become actions. It is allowing your heart to receive before you try to give. You cannot carry my peace to others if you never stop to receive it yourself. You cannot speak clearly if you never let me quiet your mind. My beloved child, this quiet room will teach you what urgency never could. You will learn that not every need is your job to fix. Not every door must be walked through. Not every voice deserves an answer. Not every feeling should dictate your next step. Here in the quiet, I restore your wisdom. I reorder your desires. I remind you that you are mine long before you are useful to anyone else. My child, this is deep soul work. It might not look impressive to others. They won't see what I am shaping when you choose prayer over anxiety, rest over striving, silence over defending yourself, or patience over forcing things. But I see your hidden obedience and your quiet surrender. I see when you choose my presence over the pressure to prove yourself. My beloved child, do not fear if this quiet room feels strange at first. A mind used to constant noise will tremble when silence comes. It will want to reach for distraction. It might beg for something to fill the void. Just stay with me gently. Do not criticize yourself or force a harsh discipline. Simply return. Return when your mind wanders. Return when you feel restless or when fear tries to creep in. Inner peace grows as we keep returning here. This is not a performance, my child. This is relationship. A child learning to rest near a loving parent does not learn trust instantly. Trust grows through safe moments discovering again and again that my presence is kind. I am kind to you. I am deeply patient with your restless soul. My beloved child, this stillness is not empty space. It is filled with my healing presence. This is a sanctuary inside your soul where the clamor of the world has no power. In this room, I do not always use words. Sometimes I simply stay close and my presence becomes your strength. You learn that I am enough. You learn that peace can exist before you have answers. You learn that being held is enough. My child, out of this quiet room, you will begin to live differently. You will speak from wisdom instead of reaction. You will choose from peace instead of fear. You will give from an overflow instead of emptiness. You will stop confusing constant busyness with real fruitfulness. This is how I heal you, not with noise, but by drawing you into this quiet room where your roots can grow. My beloved child, this stillness protects your light. Without this quiet time, your light grows dim from endless giving. Without prayer, your compassion gets tired. Without soul rest, your work turns to resentment. I do not want you shining from exhaustion, but from our deep connection. Come back to this quiet room. Let me fill you again. Step into this quiet, hidden room inside you. Let me steady what has been shaken. As you rest in this deep stillness, I will teach you how to bring holy order to your daily life. This inner peace must be guarded. Your eyes, ears, tongue, schedule, and relationships, and your hidden habits must learn to serve the peace of this inner room. This quietness will become a whole new way of living in my presence. It is not control, my beloved. It is simply caring for this sacred inner room where my peace has found a home. And next, I will show you how healthy boundaries and holy order shield this inner sanctuary. My beloved child, let me teach you how this quiet room
is where I deepen your soul.
Now let us protect this peace in your daily life. Clear boundaries and divine order are not enemies of your inner quiet. They are the guardians of your peace.
My child, this quiet room is not just for isolated moments. We must protect it when your days get chaotic, when the noise grows loud, when emotions flare up, and when old patterns try to slip back inside. I did not build this quiet sanctuary for it to be shattered by constant demands. I am teaching you how to guard it. My beloved child, the order I bring to this inner room is not harsh or punishing. It is not a cold life. It is love given structure. It is wisdom defending what grace has built in here. It is the gentle structure keeping your soul clear when the world gets loud. Do not fear this divine order. Led by my spirit, it is a shelter, not a cage. My child, this quiet room has gates. What you look at comes inside.
What you listen to finds a home.
Your words shape your world. What you let near this inner sanctuary will either guard our peace or threaten it. That is why you must guard the entryway to this sacred room. Do it with quiet wisdom, not fear, but with loving attention. My beloved child, protect your eyes. Stop feeding your soul with toxic images, endless comparisons, or things that trigger fear, envy, and bitterness. Your eyes should be windows of wonder, not channels for chaos to enter this quiet room. Let your gaze rest on what is pure, gentle, real, and life-giving. You do not need to look at everything, nor consume what harms this inner sanctuary. My child, protect your ears. Not every voice belongs in here. Some carry true wisdom, while others bring anxiety or toxic chatter masked as care. Some bring heavy burdens that crowd this quiet space, calling you by labels I never gave you. Listen closely. My dear child, choose voices that lead you toward truth, quiet courage, and deep peace. Let my voice silence every accusation. Let prayer drown out panic. Let my quiet whisper in this room be louder than the shouting world. My child, guard your tongue. Words carry power. They can build or crush, revealing what is truly hidden in the depths of your soul. I am teaching you to hold back reactionary words, to stop speaking from pain, and to refuse to label your future based on a single fearful moment. Pause. Let the peace of this inner room filter your words, and let love soften your tone. My beloved child, your greatest battles are won in silence. A word left unsaid or a complaint brought to this hidden space instead of shared. Softening a sharp reply, refusing to speak, fear, choosing to bless when bitterness demands a throne. These are massive victories inside. They are holy order taking shape within you. My child, guard your time. It is not just a schedule. It is soil for planting holy seeds. If your schedule is filled with constant noise, you will go deaf to my voice. If urgency drives you, this room will lose its rest. Without space for me, this inner quiet feels miles away, even though I am right here. Meet me in this room, not just when you are exhausted, but first thing. My beloved child, build tiny habits that lead you back to this quiet room. A morning prayer, gratitude before sleep, a brief pause before speaking, or a gentle turning of your heart to this inner sanctuary while you walk and work, as you cook or sit in quiet. These are not empty routines, but doorways back to this sacred room. Guard your relationships with wisdom. Love people deeply, but never hand over the keys to this inner sanctuary. Serve others without letting their demands control your heart. Forgive completely, but realize some doors must stay closed. Be kind, but never throw away your discernment. Healthy boundaries are not acts of anger.
They are acts of obedience. They are not cold walls built from pain. A holy boundary is a gate guarded by wisdom. It says, I love you, but I cannot let chaos rule my inner room. I can bless you, but I must honor my Father. I can forgive, but I will not let you destroy this quiet space. Let me teach you the difference. My child, others might misread this new structure. They will mistake your inner peace for distance, your boundaries for pride, and this quiet room for hostility. Keep your heart tender, but never let their confusion drive you out of the sanctuary I am building. Stand strong. Keep this inner space pure. My child, holy order is physical too. Your body is not separate from this quiet room. Rest, nourishment, deep breaths, and slowing down all matter. If you neglect your temple, this peaceful room is easily disrupted. I created you as one complete soul. Do not neglect daily care. Sometimes our deepest quiet comes from simple physical obedience. My child, sleep when you are tired. Pull back when you feel overwhelmed. Walk in silence and close the door on the loud world. Make your body a clean house where your spirit can rest. This is sacred. My beloved, this order is not about earning my love. My love is already yours. This structure simply aligns your life with the quiet peace of this room. It is saying, Father, I value what you are building in me, and I won't let confusion steal it. That quiet promise honors me. It keeps you safe. My child, stop trying to force order on your own. Start small. Just one step, one guarded gate, one surrendered habit, one quiet prayer. One boundary kept. One wise word, one quiet evening. One morning shared with me. Small steps of order bring deep, lasting stability. That deep stability becomes a visible peace. I am not shrinking your world, my child. I am calling you into a free life where fear no longer runs your schedule, where old wounds do not write your words, pressure does not force your yes, and confusion no longer decides your path. This is holy order, true freedom, resting in my peace, a life built around my presence. Let discipline feel gentle now. Let boundaries be wise. Let order become worship. Let your daily choices guard the sacred room where my peace now lives. As this holy order gently settles around your heart, you will be ready for my final promise, a prayer of peace and a closing blessing that wraps this entire message in my presence over your life. My beloved child, as holy order settles inside you, let us wrap this entire message in peace, deep prayer, and confirmation. Do not rush away from this moment. Do not treat my words like a passing breeze. Let them settle deep inside you like light resting on still water. My child, I have whispered to the deepest, most hidden room of your soul. I have called you to rest. My voice is not always loud, but it is always faithful. I reminded you of Samuel in the quiet night, the boy who learned to answer when heaven called his name. You are not an accident, my child. You are not forgotten, not lost, and never outside my plan. And holy encounters are never beyond my reach. I connect what human eyes cannot see. I arrange paths, people, pauses, and seasons with a wisdom far deeper than your own. That ache that's stirring deep inside you is not proof that you are broken. It is an awakening. The shaking you feared is actually breaking old chains. I can bring dry bones back to life with a single breath. My child, I have led you to a peace that can never be shaken. I have shown you a fire that refines you without destroying you. And I have brought cool water after the flames to restore your weary soul. I showed you through Naaman that miracles are often hidden in simple obedience. I have shown you that your deepest pain can become the doorway to a new birth, and that your quiet tears are softening the soil for what I am planting. Listen again. I am bringing peace to your heart today. Not because your questions are all answered or because your road suddenly became easy. Not because the storms around you have vanished, but because I am with you. My child, this peace is not fragile. It does not depend on perfect circumstances. It does not need everyone to understand you, and it does not require a painless past or a fully visible future. My peace rests on who I am, and I never change. So breathe in this truth, my child. You are seen. You are known. You are being restored, shaped, and led. My beloved child, I did not bring you here just to comfort you for a few fleeting moments. I am building a strong kingdom foundation in your inner life. I am lifting you up and commissioning you. You are becoming a pillar of light. You are learning that stillness is not empty, but the sacred space where I deepen your soul. You are learning that discipline, boundaries, and holy order are not chains, but shields for the peace inside you. Do not let the noise steal what I gave you. Guard this peace. Return to the quiet. Walk in order. Listen before you react. Pray before you panic, and rest before you run dry. Speak from love, never from fear. My child, let us pray together now. Let these words be yours. Father, I come to you with completely open hands and an honest heart. I bring you all the noise that surrounds me. I bring you the fear I have carried in secret. I bring you the exhausted, scattered places deep inside. I bring you the dry and unsure moments, and the tears I could never explain. I bring you the parts of me that pretend to be strong, while aching to be held. Father, teach me to hear your voice in the stillness. Teach me to find your peace beneath the constant noise of this world. Teach me to answer like Samuel with a humble heart that says, "Speak, Lord, I am listening." Restore what has been shaken and reconnect what was scattered. Breathe fresh life into my dry, weary soul. Purify what needs to be refined, but please do not let me fear your holy fire. Wash me with your spirit. Heal my deep wounds. Release what shame has falsely named and strip away every label that did not come from you. Father, I let go of my need to understand everything before I trust you. I surrender my habit of running ahead because of fear. I surrender the heavy pressure to prove myself. I silence the voices that drag me away from your peace. Build your strong kingdom foundation within me. Make my heart steady, my thoughts pure, my words gentle, and my obedience simple. Make my whole life a vessel of your peace. My beloved child, I hear this prayer. I receive even the words you cannot quite speak aloud. I hear the soft sigh beneath your words. I feel the longing in your silence. I see the faith that is still so small and trembling, yet still reaches out to me. Never think small faith is useless. An open door is still open, and a tiny yes can start a sacred journey. A tiny flame grows steady when I breathe upon it. From this moment on, carry my peace differently. Do not guard it with anxious fear. When you feel anxious, just return. When you feel scattered, return. When tempted to speak quickly, return. When old hurts and heavy labels whisper again, step back into this quiet room. Remember who you are, beloved, chosen, held mine. My child, you are not just listening to these words in the dark. I am inviting you to live them. Let your home and your mind feel this shift. Let your relationships soften. Let your daily rhythm become gentle, peaceful, and quietly aware of my presence. Right here, beside you. I am not asking for perfection tonight. Just walk with me through this quiet space, step by step, breath by breath, prayer by prayer. Let this peace be the anchor of your soul. Let it meet you when you wake, when you work, when you choose, and when you wait, and even when night falls. This is more than a passing moment. I am teaching you how to live close to me always. Stay here with me, and peace will bloom in your heart today. If this quiet whisper brought you comfort or hope, keep returning to this sanctuary of faith. Subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, and come back whenever your soul needs a gentle space to hear my voice and find rest. Share this with someone carrying a heavy, silent burden. A single word of peace can become a deep well for a weary soul. Now open your heart to receive my blessing. May my peace shield you, and my presence quiet your racing thoughts. Let my light guide your next step, and my love assure you that you are never alone. Go forward now, not in panic, but in peace. Step forward in trust, not confusion. You are fully known, never abandoned. I am breathing deep peace into your quiet room today. And what I begin within you, I will complete with faithful love.